We have to remember, if we're going to dance along and stuff, if we do keep putting these on YouTube now, people can see us.
Well, that's true.
So,
I sort of thought of that as I was dancing.
We had put it on YouTube, and I've been looking at the stats and the comments and likes and things, and I liked it. And as of half an hour ago, we've had 0 views and 1 like. So I'm the only person that went and had a look.
So
I don't know what a view. It must. No, actually, no. Sorry, there were a few more views, so it must have counted my view. But no comments and only 1 like.
Oh, nothing. Oh, that's how disappointing is that? So you're saying we probably shouldn't commercialise the Pointless podcast quite yet?
I think it's it may show that we've got good heads for radio, as they say.
Do you know what we should do, as we have done previously, is do us as babies?
I know that was great, wasn't it?
I know the software is a bit hard, so it's hard to do it for the whole sort of 45 to 60 minutes. But having said that, everyone I showed it to, which was a lot of people, thought it was epically good. They didn't care what we're saying. It was just even better.
Yeah. Anyway. And I think we did it for the grand final one, didn't we? And promoted it. That is our record listened to episode.
Yes.
Won't give out the numbers just in case it makes people too excited.
I feel the bar is a bit low in that regard.
That's right.
But anyway, I have a theory for so we really can't keep talking about I'm going to refer to it as the C-word.
It's got a C in it. It's got an N and a T.
Right. So, given this much thought today, it's the C-word now.
Okay.
So, I actually think there are a few C-words that we should not use. The obvious C-word we shouldn't use, but there's at least 4 other C-words we should not use. We should not talk about in this podcast. So, the first C-word is obviously we should not talk about Carlton.
Okay.
Right? But then I kept thinking, I thought, well, we probably shouldn't talk about coach either.
Ah, good point.
Right. And then I kept thinking, and I thought, well, there's a few others I think we shouldn't talk about or mention. One is capitulation.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't mention that.
I'm glad we're not mentioning all these things. Yeah.
And we definitely shouldn't mention comeback. Well, there's at least 4, but possibly 5 C-words that we shouldn't use.
I can think of another C-word we shouldn't ever mention.
Yes.
And you may know it from
the
song. We don't have to say the word.
Well, moving, I just thought, because I have obviously a Collingwood reference I'd like to talk about, but already the title of this particular episode is coming to mind, which is the Unmentionable C-Word. But there are so many,
there's no U in Carlton.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. Exactly right. There's no I either.
No, there's no team.
Is there anything?
Back to you.
I was going to say, is there anything in Carlton?
We
found it?
There's no me, there's no I, there's no you.
There's nothing. There's nothing in Carlton. There's oh.
Oh. Oh my God. There's an AR. I just go, we're at half time again.
You could rebrand without vowels. So you'd be Clawson.
Actually, it's interesting because there is an O. It's like,
there's an A.
And Collingwood's got an ooh. Collingwood.
Yeah, at least we've got an ooh. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, what was the other? So
all jokes aside, but I'll talk, because you just probably can't speak about after Good Friday. That was a whole new level of I did discuss it with my lovely partner, who said that we should probably stop watching Carlton because that means we're probably now participating in psychological trauma.
Yeah.
And it's a
When I was
very
talking to
fair call.
talking to the kids over the weekend, and they're both like, "What? We have to play again on a Thursday night this week to the start of Gather Round, when the whole world is actually physically there watching the game, not just on TV, the whole footy world. And then we have to back it up and play you lot the following week on Thursday night prime time. Can't we just play at 1:15 on Sunday or Saturday?
I must say, I'm gonna, as much as I can't stand Carlton, and thank God they're losing. But having said that, yeah, I'm going to blame the draw. Like, you had a 5-day break into Good Friday on the back of, and then now you got a 6-day break, and you have to go to Adelaide to gather around everybody. And you've got you have to play Adelaide in Adelaide, a gather round, right?
Yes.
Not only that, but now Wiedering's out.
Yeah.
Harry Dean's out, and the other bloke got suspended. So it's going to be like, you're going to be sending over my mum to play centre half back.
Yeah, well, they asked me to go, but I can't afford the diesel, so I can't. I can't go. So I said no, sorry. Can I do it? Can I work from home? So I'm going to do it by video link.
Play from home. I think you'd be probably better off playing from home. But speaking of which, I got this. I wanted to float a theory or a sort of a concept with you.
Okay.
You know, the AFL has these rules now where, like, there's lightning, or there's lightning within a certain area. You know, you've got to stop. You're saying you go off the ground and you can't play again until that lightning goes away, right?
Yep.
I think that if Nick Dacos is injured or can't play before the game, I think we should reschedule the game. That is a very fair concept. Most people have turned up to see Nick.
Yeah.
Everyone, and Collingwood obviously is useless without Nick. So
I think that's right. There's nothing to see if he's not there. So
nothing to see here. Sorry, we're rescheduling. How bad would that be? It's just like, remember, was it last year when there were floods in Queensland? Everybody got, all right, actually,
that's true. They put the whole round off. Yeah,
they postponed the entire round and played it again during the bye round. Or no, they played it during that ridiculous day off they have between the end of the season and the finals, right? Well, can't we do that? Can't we just say, look, Nick's available in the last weekend of September. Let's play then.
Yeah.
I think it's a great concept.
Well, the commentators will be happy because all I can talk about is Dacos. Oh. Are there any other players for Collingwood? Pendlebury was out too, wasn't he? So
I'm not
basically
sure they were on Friday night.
No Pendlebury, no Dacos. What's the point?
I sort of have a few. I have one particular friend who will literally always text me if they're losing.
Yeah.
And if they're winning by a reasonable margin, never get a text. Right? So I can almost set my expectation. And I didn't realize, I got a few, but nothing. And then I looked at the score. Oh, geez, that's ugly. It's not.
That was a bit of a shellacking.
But apparently, it was a shellacking. But it was good. What does I say? Good old fashioned belting. You know, belting. In the old days where they give you a decent belting. You know,
belting. Yeah, like the nuns at St. Ross. I went to primary school.
We weren't the only ones. Can I just say, some of these games are beyond one-sided.
Yeah.
Like, I think Collingwood just had a bad game and put it down to the fact that, if your best player and the best player in the league disappears a minute before they bounce the ball, it's not ideal. But what about West Coast?
West Coast and Sydney?
Like, what? Just see that game?
To show you how good a tipper I was. I tipped West Coast. I had a feeling that they were starting to come good. Sydney could be a bit shaky. They think they're better than they really are. But actually, that's not true. They are as good as they think they are. Well, they certainly were last week.
Like, it was just like that they say there was they were witches' hats. They were basically red and white, and that was it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That it's I don't think this year so far. It is as Michael Voss says, it's a small sample size so far.
Oh.
He said that in his press
Michael,
conference.
sorry, that is...
There was a lot to like. Let's face it, there was a lot to like about the game. That's his other favourite line. Anyway, based on the small sample size, though, it's good to see. I don't think it's as bad as last year. So West Coast have had a couple of green shoots. So they've looked, pretty good. They beat someone last week, didn't they? And someone else. They've had a couple of wins.
Did they not? Did they? Did. They beat Port Adelaide in Adelaide.
In Adelaide,
is that right?
Yeah.
Jeez,
so North have beaten one of the premiership favourites last week on Good Friday. But North are fifth on the ladder. So, North's starting to come good. There's just different disaster teams, I think. But although having said that, even Essendon showed a bit of something.
Yeah, but in my defence, Essendon versus the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs played the first quarter. Right? Yeah. And they were 6 to 7 goals up. Literally, I played a quarter at halfway through, or a bit more than halfway through the second quarter. They were 9 goals ahead, right? Mm. And they've literally just decided that they're not playing the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And Essington got a couple of kind of whatever, but they were. But
they haven't done that every other game. So I'm looking for positives here, Martin. I'm a glass half full sort of guy. You know that.
Oh,
yeah. Look at that. So it's even more than half full.
Your glass is in fact more than half full. That would have been somewhat ironic if your glass was empty, but. Well, I'm not really sure. I'm not, but
no, I'm
West Coast game was.
I'm putting my hand up here to say that it's starting to come back. But there are a lot of teams. There are a lot of young teams, especially, that just go really bad one day, and so I'm hoping that was what happened to West Coast, and they are actually starting to show something.
I mean, yes, it's probably. Yeah, what do they say? What do they call it? Rebuilds. Rebuilds. Rebuilds are not linear.
Yeah, okay.
So you're going to have a good one, and then you're going to have a bad one.
A non-linear rebuild. That's
a non-linear rebuild.
That's right. Yeah.
But it was the other thing that kind of amuses me about the West Coast game is if you look at the worm, on the AFL, and again we have mentioned this. Do not look at the worm if you are losing, because it's diabolical. But the worm is it's very it's actually the worm is, they kick so many goals and points, Sydney, that it's almost impossible to see the goals that West Coast kicked, because the worm is so many sort of
middle. I did see that. Yeah.
You're like, my God, did they actually kick anything? But they only kicked 4 goals for the whole game.
Yeah.
To the whole game.
Let's talk about a different coast. So going off to my favourites. They did you hear about the kick in the nuts? That was so.
Oh, you mean Michael Voss? Or?
So Hardwick's quote in the press conference afterwards was that he was pretty angry about the midfield. And he said they gave us a kick in the nuts.
Oh, I did not
hear
that.
That's what he said. He's been taking a leaf out of other world statesmen's books about swearing in public announcements.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
The other person we won't name.
Did he actually?
The other C-word we won't talk about.
The other C-word
from the United States. No, sorry, yeah. So.
Kick in the nuts.
But yeah, Hardwick said gave us a kick in the nuts. And I thought, poor Matt Rowell, our mate, great friend of the show, he's just come back from a broken finger, and then he gets a kick in the nuts. I mean, and they're supposed to bounce back this week against Sydney. How long does it take you to bounce back from a kick in the nuts, Martin? You must have been kicked in the nuts a few times in your life.
Well, that's true. 1979 was a kick in the nuts.
Oh yeah.
For those who remember 1979, there was a few years around that year where I was a young man getting kicked in the nuts quite a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't realise you used that terminology, kick in the nuts.
Yes.
How long does it take? Well, I reckon it takes. Surely it's not going to take him more than a week to get over a kick in the nuts. Surely.
You just got to put a
What
bit
did
of ice on it.
your mate Raoul? Did he? What did
No,
he do?
he had a bit of a shocker. But he first came back for the season, and since the
Oh my
game
God,
we all love, the State of Origin, he
oh
broke
God.
his finger or hand or wrist or something.
Can I just say, like in some of the, just looking at I was looking down the list of the Gold Coast players, trying to find Mr. Rowell, but geez, he's a bit low.
Yeah.
Did he actually play? Oh, he did play. Yeah.
He
Oh,
did.
13
I
touches.
watched a bit, but he was, it was very, it was a terrible day for them.
I think just couldn't help thinking of Jared Witts, former Collingwood player, who I think is actually playing pretty well for Gold Coast. But Jared Witts, his nickname would have to be F, wouldn't it?
F-Wit. Or Half. Harvey.
Half's
Call him
better.
Harvey.
Half. Hey, Harvey. Half. Oh, dear.
Yes. Yes. Few ex-Collingwood players doing all right at the moment, actually. That
I know. Who else?
it's a young man called Mychek that seemed to be doing all right at Melbourne.
Yeah, but
surprise.
the problem with that is good. I'll give him due credit because, like, he couldn't have possibly got paid that money at Collingwood. Do you know what I mean? He only got 6 touches on the weekend. But I think
Mychek.
Mychek, but he kicked 2. But I think what happens is that he does all of the hard stuff, as they say, does all the bulleting work. Anyway, yeah, don't look at the worm. Don't look at other players that have left your club. Just don't look. Speaking of which, what about all of the Colton? We can't mention the C-word. Or the
C-word players.
Words that are doing well. Kennedy at the Bulldogs. God, top fire. There's a few others too.
I'm sort of pleased the others aren't doing so well. Like Curno's doing pretty much exactly what he did with us. Sort of showing up in the first 10 minutes. But in the first half again, I think. And presents, and then when it gets serious, he just goes missing.
He does a bit, doesn't he?
I was looking before, so I didn't hear anything about Silvani and De Koning on the weekend. They're hopeless at St Kilda, and then I realised they actually had a bye. So that's probably
it's a bit rough.
Unfair. But yeah, I don't think they've covered themselves in glory yet either. So that's okay.
No, they haven't. No. I was also looking at the. Sorry, you're going to say?
No, I was just going to say good on. I don't sort of bear them any ill will because, especially De Koning. I mean, how could you not take that deal? Crazy deal. So,
I know you have to. So, I was also looking at the ladder. The ladder's fascinating now, right? As we have talked about, the ladder is honestly you need a degree in metaphysics to understand the ladder now. But what fascinates me. Well, is that metaphysics or quantum physics?
Metaphysical is like some sort of spiritual thing or something.
Well, exactly. It's more spiritual than it is fact because
the spiritual ladder.
So Melbourne, Port Adelaide, Brisbane, and Collingwood are all in the toilet.
Melbourne, they're in the little special zone.
They're in the toilet, the water closet.
Yeah.
The WC. Whenever you see...
Chris Scott doesn't like that.
No.
He made a comment during the week too.
He doesn't like the toilet.
The WC, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure.
I do like your WC thing.
But having said that, though, right now Collingwood is in the toilet. We're in the finals. We're 10th. Right?
Yeah.
How can Melbourne have won 3 games? How does that work? But they are in the water closet. We play Melbourne at the MCG in the what do they call that? The toilet round of the finals.
So you can get flushed away.
Yes, correct. But even better than that, Brisbane would have to play Port Adelaide in Port Adelaide. That is the most ridiculous game of football. Brisbane right now would win that by about 103 goals, I reckon.
But you could just see what's going to happen as it gets closer. I mean, already people are starting to talk about it, but wait till it's like 2 or 3 rounds out, and then you get some serious sides that that are caught on 7th or something, 7th or 8th.
Oh, it's going to be
Uh,
fascinating.
and yeah, have to play. I think they're going to go nuts. People like Chris Scott apparently came out and said something about it's just a money grabbing thing. It's stupid. Or I don't know what his actual quote was, but it was to the extent that Andrew Dillon got asked about it today when he got to Adelaide, and he was talking it down. And said, "Oh no, I've had a chat with Scotty. He's one of my closest friends, and
we're all good now.
Yeah, we're all mates. We're all mates here.
But Chris Scott's only pissed off because he's 11th, which is the new 9th. Right? So he's just annoyed by that. But
Exactly.
the bottom, the sub toilet teams, it's some interesting teams in there. If you think, I know it's only early days and the draw's really rigged and all that kind of stuff, but like the Cats are in there. The Crows are in there. St Kilda, which is the biggest pre-season beat up of all time. The Carlton's in there. GWS. Well, there's a lot of teams in there that
you'd have to say. Well, they're in the. Is it called the S tube? The S pipe.
Yeah,
if you're below the toilet, you're below the WC. Yeah,
you're in the
S bend.
You're in the sewage, or you're in the S bend. You're in the plumbing down there.
In the plumbing. Yeah.
What are you if you're above the toilet? What are you? The system.
You're an ass.
What is
you're
it? You sort of got above toilet teams, and sub toilet teams.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be a sub toilet team, would you? That's not great.
No. S-bend team. I like that. Speaking of ladders, my ladder is the pointless ladder's looking good. So Hawthorn's on top. Melbourne has shot to second on the ladder.
Oh, because I bet the Suns, didn't they?
Over the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. All the Melbourne fans listening. So Hawthorn, Melbourne, Bulldogs a third. So the problem is that with the ladder, it's a very serious problem if you're playing on this ladder. Just to remind everybody, this is if you beat the team that's above you, a team that's above you, you take their place. But if you don't play anybody that's above you, then you can't go up. So the Bulldogs are playing really well, but until they play Melbourne or Hawthorn now, then they can't go higher. They can only go down. I love it.
Oh, dear me. Who are we? We could go up. Yeah, we're playing Freo.
Who are you playing?
4th. Fremantle.
Yeah, well, this is where it comes into a bit of contention because they're 7th on my ladder. So,
no, you can't.
Yeah, I know. But you can't just change every week because then it becomes meaningless.
No, it does.
We've got two versions. This is the debate we have to have all season.
It becomes even more meaningful if you use the actual ladder and you reset every week because then it becomes actually real.
But that only means it's 1 week's worth. So I think the answer is you should do both.
No, only 1 week, 1 week at a time, because then but it becomes really real. Imagine at the end of the year, if we're using your ridiculous ladder, no one's going to know what's going on.
No, exactly. That's the idea.
Oh God. The ladder is it's interesting. North of Melbourne is 5th.
I know. Top 5 team.
How good is that? What about? I did watch a bit of the Easter Monday. The other thing that I did realise over the Easter weekend is it's the traditional Easter weekend. So, apparently, from what I heard, so Collingwood Brisbane apparently is now the traditional Easter Thursday clash, right?
Yes, I didn't know.
They were also when I was watching the game against North Melbourne and the C-Word that we're not mentioning.
Yeah.
That was apparently the what do they call it? The like Super Clash Good Super Clash against the worst team in the world.
Like that.
Against the the capitulators versus the the anyway,
Pretenders.
the pretenders, yeah. But then that we go, and then apparently Easter Monday is now the traditional Geelong Hawthorn blockbuster.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then
Is there a definition? Like, what does a game have to get to be a blockbuster? Like, how do you know it is going to bust blocks?
Bust blocks.
Yeah,
it's a very good question. Actually, I'm not quite sure. Surely there's a definition of a blockbuster.
Yeah, I think we should do a bit of research on that. What is a blockbuster?
Oh, I think two highly rated teams playing in front of a big crowd. That would be my
big crowd comes into it.
Yeah, because you can't have two highly rated teams playing in front of 3.5 people. That just does nothing.
Okay, well, so this is one to look out for. So, I think the game of the round coming up is Sydney versus Gold Coast at Norwood Oval, 4:15 on Saturday.
Norwood Oval? Where is that?
Norwood Oval, in Norwood. So, I mean, it's gather around, so they all play at strange places.
Oh, yeah, that is too. That'll be a really good game.
That'll be a great game. So I reckon that's the best game of the round. And it'll be really interesting to see how they go at a non-home venue and see what happens. And there won't be that many people, although there probably will be because everybody's over there and they'll all go to different games. But there's actually 3 games on Saturday afternoon. There's like one at
there are. 1:15, this is fascinating.
4:15 and 3:15 or something like that. So there will be a game that overlaps with that. So if you're there in Adelaide, you can't go to every match.
No, you can't.
Which is a kind of a weird thing. I don't really get that.
But they couldn't.
But I suppose there's just too many to, yeah.
I was going to say there's too many. I love it though. So they start Thursday and Friday night, both the Adelaide Oval. Thursday night, Adelaide versus we can't say the word.
Yeah.
You have got Buckley's of getting anywhere near that. But anyway, but then Friday, Collingwood Freo, that'll be a half decent game if you're an Adelaide person. But then it gets weird, right? So north of Melbourne playing the Lions, the Bears, at Barossa Park in Lindok.
Yeah, I know. Yes. That bet you those Rolls
Royces. Is anyone there? They won't be turning up there. Where's
at Barossa Park?
Well, they will actually, but
they will.
But wouldn't they? I was going to say, wouldn't they be
straight off the vines?
Oh yeah, there'll be more boot. What do they call it? Tailgate picnics there.
Yes.
Yeah, but North Melbourne and Brisbane supporters don't really strike me as people who would have a picnic at the back of your car.
Actually, that's true. They should schedule the games based on the type of.
So it should have been if they're gonna play at
who would it be?
Barossa Park in Lindok. It should have been sort of Melbourne versus sort of.
It'd have to be Melbourne, right?
Like,
maybe
Melbourne versus Adelaide or something like that. You know,
yeah.
Get up
Not
in
Port
your
Adelaide, obviously.
Oh no! Like you want to drink lots of red.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I think Melbourne Adelaide at Barossa Park would have been fantastic.
Yeah. Sydney maybe. They don't mind. Although they're probably more into cocktails and Aperol spritzers and things like that in Sydney.
Oh yeah, that's
something
true.
a bit more flash and sitting on the harbour watching the sunset and hello, darling.
I know. Although Adelaide Carlton or the Adelaide, well, there'd be a bit of. See that they would call that a blockbuster, right? That's 13th versus 15th.
Yeah.
In a game
Adelaide will smash us to pieces because they've lost 3. They're 3-1 and 3 or something like we are, but they've had the worst draw ever, and they've lost to everyone by. They've been feathered by everyone.
They have,
and so so they will just be coming out snarling.
Oh, they will. That will be.
I don't think we'll be ahead at half time. Here's a little prediction for me.
John, sure, that's a good thing.
It is. So I'm going to relax when I'm watching it tomorrow night because I'm pretty sure.
I must say on Friday, watching with my son, I was intrigued whether And then you were nearly ahead, and then you did a stupid thing and kicked a goal before halftime to be ahead at halftime.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's just whoever did that should be just taken out and never play again. Like, go away.
Well, there's a rule you can't be ahead at halftime, so it's just full stop.
But now you can't be even be ahead of 3/4 time.
Yeah, that's right.
No lead.
I think the only thing I wanted to say about Carlton tonight. Sorry,
you can't say it.
The C word.
The
sorry.
word.
The only thing I wanted to say about the C N T no U word is that I thought that game. I thought they actually really tried their guts out, and they tried everything, especially in the third quarter. And I actually felt at the end of that game, despite what I put on various text messages and chats, I don't think I'm now fully convinced that they should not sack Voss because I think they're really trying hard. They tried everything and they just got into their own heads in the last. It was really the last 5 to 10 minutes that they just they were still playing pretty well in the last quarter, and then they just stopped inexplicably. But at least only stopped for the last 10 minutes, so that was better than stopping in the second quarter last week. And But the point I was thinking about is that what do you do if you sack Voss now? So you've got this whole season, whole rest of the season. It's all in limbo. You can't build anything. And if you appoint a new coach now, the season's gone anyway. So what are they going to do for the rest of the season? So I actually think now there's no upside to punting Voss now. I think they should just see him out with his contract, make it clear towards the end of the year, unless he pulls off some sort of miracle. But basically, you've had your chance, that's it. And they start the process, tell him he's gone, in round 18 or 17 or something. But don't do it now. It actually, I have become convinced that there's no upside for us. There's no upside for us now. He shouldn't have been backed in last year, but he was, so we're stuck with him.
Few observations. So the problem with there's all C words, and now there's just V words. So it's C words, and now you got Voss. Like, stop using C's and V's words. That's just that. But you got the problem I have with. See, Voss is never going to resign. He's just not that kind of person.
No,
fair enough. But also, I think I think the frustration I have with him as a coach is that clearly Carlton, it's not about the football. It's clearly beyond their skill set, even though I think their skills are ordinary at best sometimes. But
yeah.
But it's clearly a mental part of the fact that they were playing. Having watched the game, the third quarter was brilliant.
Yeah,
right, really good. And it's clearly not. It's clearly above the neck now. Like you can't possibly play like that and then just stop playing like that, which means and then all I ever hear Voss talk about is we own it and we keep trying and we work on it. I'm like, but that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that your players just can't. The other thing is having watched them is whether they have a game plan that just can't sustain 4 quarters.
Yeah. But something's there, and they can't work it out. That's what seems to be clear. And I think Voss's answer is just work harder, try harder. And I think that's the same with Cripps. And I think that's the culture that's been developed. It's just like, my dad used to be like this. He was just, don't work smarter, just work harder. And he used to call me lazy all the time because it's just like, don't try and get out of the work. I'm like, no, but if we did it this way, we'd only have to do it for an hour instead of the whole day. And like, don't keep trying to shirk your responsibilities and just get on with it. So I think Voss and the guys, the culture's like that, and the way they speak is like that. We've just got to apply ourselves for the whole time. We've just got to go stick this and got to work harder.
I agree. I could not agree more.
Couldn't you?
Anyway, we've talked about for far too long.
Yeah, we weren't going to talk about them at all.
Well, we're going to talk about this because the gather round is interesting. I do think 2 good games at Adelaide Oval. But yeah,
Yeah.
Lindok, Barossa Park. I assume
Yeah.
Barossa Park, Lindok is in the Barossa. I assume.
Seems a reasonable assumption, I would think. Yeah.
There's a few games there, but why? Why? Can I just? Look, they're playing. You are right. They're playing North Melbourne, Brisbane. North Melbourne's not a bad side. They're not a great side, but they're not a bad side now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brisbane, a very good side, right? They're playing that in the Barossa, right?
Yep.
They're playing Sydney and the Suns, which should be, in theory, a belting game to watch.
Yeah.
That's being
Yeah.
played at Norwood Oval, somewhere in
Yeah.
the suburbs of Adelaide, right? They're playing. What else are they playing? Giants and Richmond's in the Barossa as well, and then they're playing Essendon and Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval. It's Saturday afternoon. That will be the worst game ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. And then but most of them I thought were actually not too bad this year. But that's an odd one to play at the Adelaide Oval. But
so 1:15, the traditional time of 1:15, which is 12:45 in Adelaide, right? They're playing at Adelaide Oval. Why the fuck would you not play? So there's a double header. So they've got Essington, Melbourne as the what is it?
Yeah,
it's almost like the reserves game. Before
exactly. Yeah.
And then they're playing Hawthorn Bulldogs that night.
Bulldogs.
Right?
Yeah,
but why would you play Sydney Suns and then Hawthorn Bulldogs? How good an afternoon would that be if you turn up to the Adelaide Oval after having your glass of Cabernet in your boot, and you roll up at 12:45, 1 o'clock, right? And you watch, even North Melbourne Lions. Well, no, if you watch Sydney Suns at like 1 o'clock, then you go back to your car and you have your Cabernet with your sort of supper or whatever you had, and then you watch Hawthorn Bulldogs at like 8 o'clock. How good would that be?
Yeah.
And then who gives a shit?
I reckon. What do you reckon? They're not. You don't get one ticket for the 2 games. I bet you have to.
Oh, I know. You'd have to
probably.
Yeah, but these are it's Adelaide. Like they'll just do it, right? And then send Essendon and Melbourne to the Barossa.
Yeah. So that'd be
all.
Good Barossa people. Essendon, there's a lot of red wine drinkers in Essendon, I think. More than GWS and Richmond. I don't think anybody from Western Sydney or Richmond has ever seen a bottle of red wine.
I was going to say, that's the least. The 2 teams I had to pick who would be the least likely to drink Barossa wine, it would be those 2.
Maybe a bottle of Lambrusco. Remember the Lambrusco fizzy red wine?
Seriously, what the? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Hey, speaking of gather round, did you? I saw. Look at something earlier that had Andrew Dillon talking about the future of gather round in Adelaide, because it was a 3-year thing, and he started saying, well, we can't just sort of sign it off again because we've got Tasmania coming in 2028, and that means we've got we'll have to play either 1 round less or 1 round more. Because you can't have... So we've got 20... Gather round was an extra round. I didn't realise this. So we play 23 games, and this was an extra round. And when you have an odd number of teams in the competition, you can't do that. You have to have an even number of games. It's like, wait a second, what? And I thought the best numbers man I know or ever met is you. So, can you explain that one?
How does that work?
He said that you have to have an even number of games when you have an odd number of teams, and vice versa. Like, do you? But that's only if everybody plays each other twice, which doesn't happen. So, I don't understand
I'm going to have to think about that, because this is from a man who designs the fixtures so that they get the result they want.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
And no one plays each other the same number of times. So
exactly,
if you had 19 teams, you could play 16 rounds if you wanted to.
But if you played, so if you say, let's just think this one through out
Oh
loud.
no,
But
I think the problem is going to be is that not everyone can play each other in a given round, right? So if you got 19
yeah,
teams, there always has to be a bye.
yes,
Every week a team has to have a bye because
some team having a
otherwise,
bye, which is going to happen. Yeah. And does it mean that?
But I think that means because
No.
if everyone at the end of the season is going to have to play the same number of games, therefore, I think the way it works, I'll have to think about this more, but I'm pretty sure the way it works is you have to have even, because then it means everyone has to play the same number of games. Otherwise, it doesn't. Not
That
everyone
must
plays.
be it. That must be it.
Because one team always has to have a bye if you have 19 teams.
Yeah.
So you've got to play even number so that everyone plays the same number of games. That's my without notice theory.
That must be it, because he said it.
It's got to be it. Yeah.
And he said it so obviously, and I'm just looking there going, wait, I didn't know that. And did we? Or is that always been the case? So we've had an even number of teams.
Yeah, because if you've got an even number. No, if you've got an even number of teams, you can play however many rounds you'd like because everyone can play each other, right, in the same week. The problem with 19 teams is someone always misses out. So you've got to, so that everyone plays the same number of games at the end of the season, they have to have.
Yeah, okay. So it works one way but not the other way.
Yes.
It has to be with an odd number of teams, but if you've got an even number of teams, you can do anything.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Which just makes the whole thing farcical even more than it is now.
Yes. Yeah.
How many? Do you reckon we should get to 24 teams and then everyone plays each other once?
Well, we could just do that with 20 teams. Why do we have to have 24? But
I reckon what they should do is to get 24 teams and everyone plays each other twice over 48 weeks.
Yeah. And then the 4 weeks left over for the finals, and then you got 52 weeks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could just
every
play
weekend for the whole year. Who would like this summer break? Really gives you the shits.
Actually, that works really well. We got 19 Tasmania. We get another team in each of. So what do we need? We need 5 more teams. You get one more team in Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth. That's 4, and then we get the Darwin team.
Darwin, yep.
Northern, the Darwin Crocs or something like that.
Alice Springs, Townsville, rugby league. They're always obsessed with rugby league. They've got a team in Townsville. Why can't we have a team in Canberra?
See, the Darwin Crocs, and they don't wear footy boots. They wear those Croc things. But then we have 24. We just play all year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
And so the team that wins the grand final then plays the following week in round 1.
Yes, exactly. Because there's no buys, because there's 24 teams.
What's a great idea?
Yeah. Well, I mean, geez. And if you want to have some time off, don't make the finals.
And the person the bloke that wins the Brownlow has 174 votes because they've been playing all year.
And Nick Dacos will still come second.
Oh, God. God, if he comes second to get in anything this year, there needs to be some kind of just terrible. Anyway, but apparently they're going to offer. There's this theory that Tasmania's going to offer him like $1 gazillion.
Yeah,
like a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
I just even if you're Nick Dacos, you'd almost take that because it's almost too good to say no. But I'm not sure it really worked with. I mean, Gary Ablett got a lot of money to go to Gold Coast. Did that help Gold Coast? Do we think it did? Maybe it did.
Well, maybe.
You have one player who can really play, and then everyone else is useless. Yeah. But does that mean they get attention because it's Gary, or Nick?
Yeah, I think they do some of that sort of stuff. I think they will try and get some superstars because people will go to the games then. And I think this is where GWS has failed compared to Gold Coast in terms of getting the local people behind them. So maybe people went to the Gold Coast games early on because of Gary Ablett, but why would you go to GWS? You'd never heard of any of them. And they went for more of the purest academy players.
They did.
So
they did too.
I think they'll.
That's a good thought. I like that theory. Maybe Nick should go to GWS.
Yeah, they need somebody.
Please, Nick, don't go to GWS. Rather you go to Tasmania. If you're going to go anywhere, please go to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Can you imagine our previous podcast friend Gemma, if Nick Dacos ends up at GWS? God, she'd just turn up every week. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand it. I don't think I could stand that. Talking about Nick Dacos at GWS.
Now, just before we wrap up, are we going to do the special edition live podcast at your place next week when Carlton plays Collingwood on Thursday the 16th?
I think we are, and I think we're going to have a few extra guests.
Yeah.
Are we not?
Yeah. So just as a bit of a teaser for everybody, we have challenged one of Martin's sons with who's very smart and doing a PhD in something or other. But we have talked a bit about the theory of relativity, and so we're going to explore that in the context of Nick Dacos's acceleration in relative terms to other players. And I think it's been a topic on everybody's lips for some time now, Martin, and it's great to get an expert on the show so we can explore it fully.
I agree. And he's just the man to do it.
Yeah.
We're for our listeners. It's going to be well worth listening to because we'll be together. Was it Thursday night? Isn't it? Collingwood Carlton next week.
Yeah, tomorrow
week. Jesus, cost another 6-day break. Cross, is there any chance of getting
finally have a 7-day break?
So we get an 8-day break this year. I reckon there's a new theory. The AFL designs it so you either get 6 or 8. Nobody gets 7.
The thing I was going to talk about last week, I was going to talk about this last week as well. Carlton had a 17-day break because we had the bye. And then, so we could have played any time. We could have played Wednesday of the week after the bye. But we played the last game on Sunday afternoon, and then we played Good Friday. So it's like that was technically a 4-day break.
Correct.
How the hell?
No.
Why
Dominic,
would that be?
So I'm sorry, Dominic, you don't understand. Clearly, you don't understand. So
I don't understand. I do not
that's
understand.
clearly a 5-day break, and your average playing time over 3 weeks is every 10 days.
Well, that's
so. I mean, I don't know what your problem is.
Yeah, that's why we don't bother with the second halves because it's just like low playing time. We can play more games. Fans can see us more often.
Infuriate. Why the fuck would you start the season and then stop it?
Oh.
It makes no sense to me at all. Like
so terrible. And then opening round. It's just
opening round, and then people start, and then they stop, and then I only realise on the weekend because of fucking Easter, right? So lots of people are either away or they're at home, and they've got more free time of 4 days. Everyone's relaxed, and then 2 teams have got to bye. Like what is that? You've got 4 days to play it, 5 days including Thursday, and you still can't get all 18 teams.
Crazy.
What are they going to do with 19 teams? There'll be 17 buys every 3 weeks.
Well, we've finally got everybody has played the same number of games now. So that's taken us 4 or 5 rounds. Opening round.
5 plus OR or something. And then, we're finally on 4 each.
Yeah.
My God. And then, hang on, don't we go back to a circus again? Or are we through the buys now? Are we through the buys?
Through all the buys now. Everybody plays this round.
I can feel myself
so we don't get buys now until around 11 or 12 or something.
Oh, right. But then don't we get them every...
No, they just do it like over those 3 or 4 weeks.
12, 13.
But I'm sorry, you're talking like there should be some 14, sort of integrity in the system. So
15. 16.
Yes.
My God.
How many?
There's
16,
12,
10
13, 14, 15, 16.
So 5 buy rounds.
So that means that's 5 plus OR 6, 1, 7, 2, 8, 3 is 9, 4, 6. There are 10 buy rounds in 25. That is, honestly, what is...
Yeah. Well, it's just when you want to see less football and crowds are down and ratings. I don't know,
but look, they can fit 9 games and gather around in Adelaide, and they can't fit 9 games over Easter over 5 days.
Yeah.
And Paul Hawthorn, look, it was about a half-decent game actually if you watched it on Monday.
It's a great game.
But having said that, they didn't play for like 17 days.
Oh, with their bye.
Yeah, because they played on the Monday, and they previously played on like a Thursday or a Friday.
Well, yeah, so that was like us because we'd played on the Thursday against Richmond.
So 17 days, that's like 2.
And then we had 17 days before we played Melbourne on Sunday.
So if you're playing 17 days, that's like 2 buys. This should count as 2 buys.
2 buys, Tony. It should be like as good as 2 teams.
That's like 7 days, 14 days. So you're into the 3rd week. It's like 2 buys. You've had 2 buys in 1 buy. See, that's just favouritism. Hawthorn said 2 buys in 1.
Wait, we had 2 buys as well. They just took them as bye-byes. Carlton was just like, bye-bye.
Hawthorn has 2 buys in 1 buy, and Carlton has to play in 4 days.
Yeah, after our 2 buys.
But, anyway, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the draw. Nothing.
No, the draw's great.
The draw is fantastic. We should all be celebrating the draw. Jeez.
Good. Well, I'm hungry. I'm going to go and have something to eat.
Excellent.
I don't know whether we covered everything tonight. We covered everything on your list. Do you have a list?
I've got a lot of. Well, I've actually. I think I'm getting more excited about what we call the sort of teaser heading for the podcast rather than the actual podcast.
Yeah.
So I can think of a few good headings for this one. This is a cracker.
Remind me when the F1 starts again. We have to talk about super clipping.
Well, super clipping.
Super clipping is what they.
Is it like trolling flapping?
Yes, it is, and this is our new trolling flap thing. It was
super clipping.
Alex pointed out to me that we should talk about super clipping because what you do is when you're coming down the straight, you take your foot off the accelerator so it recharges your battery. And this is like when you're miles ahead, you take your foot off the accelerator.
Super clipping. Wow.
Super clipping. So watch out for super clipping.
I'm actually reliably informed that the F1 does not race in April.
Correct. Yeah.
Because of they postponed at least 1, maybe 2 Middle East races. But does that mean they count? Is that a buy?
Yeah.
Do we count them as buys?
Well,
or does that mean are they postponed to be raced in between the last game and the final?
Yeah, well, there was lots of talk about different things. And in fact, I have it on reliable authority because I heard it on the radio from the Premier of South Australia on the ABC last weekend. They put in a bid for it. They were going to try and do the Adelaide Grand Prix again. Has to fill in. They could have done it a gather round. They could have done it between the games on gather round. That would have been great around the streets.
Oh, that's good. I was just wondering what do they do with those races? Do they play them again, or do they? If it was the AFL, they just play them again.
They just decided they won't do them.
See, if you're Mercedes right now, you just say yes to anything, right? Sure. The only thing you wouldn't say yes to is going back to the old engine, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But other than that, you just say sure.
Mm.
You know? And if you're Red Bull or something other than that, you just say no to everything.
You just complain about everything.
Are they just cancelling them? Not.
They just which you can imagine why, because to rearrange.
Oh,
this is not like playing another game at the MCG. It's the whole. And I heard some people talking about Melbourne, and can you imagine the Albert Park residents and everything?
Oh my God, to set it off again.
There'd be marches everywhere. They
can
put it on Phillip Island instead of now that they've cancelled the bloody MotoGP. That's terrible.
I know. In all seriousness, they should actually pick a non-street circuit. Like those circuits that are already a circuit.
Yeah.
Isn't that like Japan and China? I think they're actual circuits, right? Why don't they just go back there?
I'm surprised they didn't do something like that. So, was it Japan the last one? I think so. Just do another race in Japan, or do 2 in China and then 2 in Japan, maybe.
Yeah, just do
in a
that
row.
again.
They're all there, so they don't have to fly them everywhere, and it's all set up. So,
Well, maybe
anyway.
maybe they could race at Barossa Park in Linddock.
Maybe that's what the
I think
Premier was talking about.
There's a circuit out there somewhere. You just put up a temporary stand, race around the circuit. Yeah,
there's a few F1 fans that would be drinking the red wine.
Yeah.
I think that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That makes more sense than bloody what's the name?
Richmond
Melbourne
versus
and Essington.
GWS.
Fucking hell.
No, we said
correct.
Melbourne and Essington.
GWS and Richmond.
GWS and Richmond are the ones going there. They've picked the 2 most bogan sides in the whole AFL and sent them to the Barossa.
Should be saying there's some kind
people that live in the Barossa, they won't know what's hit them.
Drinking beer? No.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got anything? Have you got any red wine in a can? I only drink stuff out of a can from the fridge.
That's terrible.
Right, that's a good place to stop before you live near Richmond. You're going to have all our Richmond listeners are going to come after you.
No, but there's a lot of good pubs in Richmond, and they serve a lot of good beer. It's a good thing. But the last thing you would do is transplant Richmond, the vibe of Richmond during the football, to Barossa Park and make it red wine.
That's true. That's true. Good. Well, thanks again. Thanks for another good episode.
It was. Look forward to nobody watching the YouTube.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.